She's no longer just the daughter of Hollywood royalty. Suri Cruise, now 19, is really defining beauty, grace, and quiet power on her own terms. From her effortless, cool strolls through New York City to her rising presence at Carnegie Mellon University, Suri's style has become a masterclass in understated elegance. Teen Vogue calls her the queen of clean girl aesthetics, but it's more than just fashion. It's the way she carries herself, the way she's chosen a life of privacy and purpose, and the way she's become a mirror of her mother, Katie Holmes, with a touch of her own mystique. Whether she's visiting film sets or simply walking alone, Suri radiates a kind of beauty that isn't loud, it's luminous, and in a world obsessed with spectacle, her quiet confidence is magnetic. Today we're diving into how Suri Cruise became the most beautiful woman in the world, not just in looks, but in legacy, presence, and the art of becoming herself. Angelina Jolie's daughter Shiloh is all grown up. You won't believe her transformation. Shiloh Nouvelle Jolie Pitt was born on May 27, 2006 in Namibia and was the first biological child of Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. Her baby photos were sold for record-breaking sums, which her parents donated to charity. She continued to appear in the public eye, often with her siblings. At the red carpet events, she would wear suits, ties, and slacks, typically matching with brothers Maddox and Pax. She was never pressured into dressing traditionally feminine, and her fashion was identity-driven. In 2016, Brad and Angelina's divorce brought massive media buzz towards their children. Despite this, Shiloh remained relatively private. She became increasingly independent in public appearances and was often praised for her confidence and self-assured presence. In 2019, she wore a blazer at the Maleficent, Mistress of Evil premiere. By 2021, she made headlines when she wore dresses at several red carpet events in 2023. Shiloh debuted a buzz cut, shocking fans by staying true to her personal expression. In 2024, she filed to drop Pitt from her last name and now goes by Shiloh Jolie. This was a significant act of independence and personal agency, though some reports suggest that this came after difficult family issues, particularly with Brad Pitt, though exact reasons have not been made public. In 2025, Shiloh choreographed a performance for a Net-a-Porter and Isabel Marant fashion event using the name Shy. Shiloh is becoming known not just as a celebrity daughter, but as a dancer, artist, and emerging creative figure. At 19, she has truly come into her own style and is frequently praised for being naturally beautiful, poised, and grounded. She rarely gives interviews, but speaks through style, creativity, and presence. Brad Pitt's son, Maddox, has taken Hollywood by storm. Maddox was born in Cambodia. In 2008, Angelina Jolie adopted him as a single parent. In 2006, Brad initiated and then finalized the legal adoption of Maddox and Zahara, so Maddox became his son legally. In 2014, he worked behind the scenes on Angelina Jolie's directed film By the Sea as a production assistant. Maddox attended meetings, read scripts, etc., while his mother has said he helped with notes, etc., in First They Killed My Father. In 2017, Maddox got his first executive producer credit on First They Killed My Father, a Netflix project directed by his mother. He helped in reading the script, offering notes, etc. In 2019, Maddox enrolled in Yonsei University in South Korea and studied biochemistry. In 2024, Maddox joined as the third assistant director in Stitches, another film connected to Angelina Jolie. He took on pre-production as well as on-set tasks. Maddox had become a trained pilot, which Angelina Jolie said in an interview. While studying in Korea, he also studied the Korean language, and he made academic choices, Yonsei, even when he had other university offers. He hasn't been front and center as an actor, but his career is building steadily behind the camera with production, assistant directing, and producer roles. His work is often connected to high-profile projects, films by Angelina Jolie, so he's gaining experience in serious filmmaking, not just small roles. Beyoncé's daughter, Blue Ivy, is already a fashion icon. In 2014, as a toddler, Blue Ivy made several red carpet appearances alongside Beyoncé and Jay-Z. Even then, she drew attention for her distinctive looks like, at the MTV Video Music Awards in 2015, she wore a fairy-like dress by Mishka Aoki, matching the dramatic feathered gown her mother wore. When Blue Ivy was about 5 years old, she wore a children's version of a Gucci dress, originally an adult Gucci runway design, which embroidered with parrot and snake motifs and lace panels, paired with simpler elements like glittery Converse for an age-appropriate balance in Beauty and the Beast. Blue Ivy's stylist work with Beyoncé's team has allowed her to explore different cultural and fashion angles. She's been reported to draw from African-American cultural references and be bold with mixing textures, colors, and silhouettes. Even at that age, she did many fashion shoot-style photo posts shared by Solange, etc., emulating campaign vibes, showing she already had strong instincts for fashion image and presentation. At 11, Blue Ivy appeared with her mom at the Renaissance concert film premiere. She wore a Versace black dress with an asymmetrical neckline with accessories that looked more mature, still age-appropriate but clearly showing elevated taste. At the Lion King premiere, December 9, 2024, Blue Ivy wore a gold gown, full skirt by Christian Siriano, which was very dramatic, red carpet level glamour. She then changed into a glittery gold mini dress for the performance inside. In the Cowboy Carter tour opening, Blue Ivy now has multiple stage outfits in a single show, matching her mom, but also having her own identity. On the opening night, 2025, she had 5 outfit changes, including an all-white cowboy look, white hat, and vest. Jennifer Lopez's twins are the definition of star power. In 2008, Emmy Maribel Munez and Maximilian Max David Munez were born to Jennifer Lopez and Mark Anthony. As toddlers, they appeared in ads and family shoots like when they were about 2 years old. They starred with Jennifer in a Gucci children's collection campaign. This was one of their first fashion modeling experiences, and then Emma reportedly began showing interest in choosing outfits. By the age of 7, at the premiere of Home, the animated movie, the twins already appeared on the purple carpet with Tiffany & Company style matching and complementing their mother's look. In 2019, they began to be seen more often in public with Jennifer, especially in casual street-style moments. These appearances established them as recognizable style followers. Their mother shares a photo of them in elaborate costumes, Halloween, signaling that they partake in the themed, playful side of fashion. In 2024, Jennifer shares ultra-rare photos of twins at age 16, and in the photos, Max is noticeably taller, while both are confidently styled. These photos drew attention to how much they've grown, not just physically, but in presence. In March 2025, at the Othello Broadway opening night, Emma walked the red carpet with Jennifer in a striking mother-child fashion moment. Jennifer Lopez wore a Zuhair Murad couture along with a dramatic coat, while Emma wore a pinstriped gray suit. The look was polished and mature and showed Emma's confidence in suiting, tailoring, and fashion that leans toward a creative expression. On October 6, 2025, Jennifer appeared at the rare joint red carpet along with the twins at the Kiss of the Spider-Woman premiere. Emma wore a red velvet suit and Max wore khaki pants with a jacket. Their styles balanced, youthful and mature, showing individuality. Emma's fall velvet look was especially praised. Will Smith's kids are redefining Hollywood legacy. Trey Smith was born in 1992 to Will Smith and his first wife, Cherie Zampino. Jaden Christopher Zaire Smith and Willow Camille Rain Smith were born to Will and Jada Pinkett Smith. Jaden acted with his father in The Pursuit of Happiness, 2006, while Willow's film debut was also early as she appeared in I Am Legend, 2007. At the age of 9, Willow released Whip My Hair, a song that became a massive hit and garnered attention for her as a young music artist. That same year, Jaden starred in The Karate Kid remake, 2010, which increased his visibility as an actor outside just family associations. In interviews, Will Smith has said that 2010 was one of the greatest years both as an artist and as a parent because of these twin breaks, Jaden's film and Willow's song. Soon, Jaden expanded not just in acting but also in music and released his debut studio album, Sire, in 2019. Willow released multiple albums over the years, evolving her sound, like the first, Willow, Lately I Feel Everything, and Coping Mechanism. Jaden had varied acting roles in The Day the Earth Stood Still, 2008, and After Earth, 2013. As of 2025, Jason was appointed Men's Creative Director for Christian Louboutin. This is a major fashion industry role showing recognition not just of talent, but of vision in a luxury brand. Willow released Empathogen and has been touring, performing as an opening act for large artists, and becoming more visible on international stages. Will Smith has spoken about being more vulnerable and open with his children, acknowledging mistakes or challenges with fame, their happiness. There has been public discussion about how early fame impacted family happiness. Suri Cruise's stunning transformation over the years. In 2006, Suri Cruise was born to Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes. Very early on, she was exposed to media and fashion at 6 months old. She appeared in Vanity Fair magazine with her parents in a feature, Someone Wanted to See Me. In 2009, her wardrobe in this period was full of bright hues, florals, frills, and playful patterns. She often wore dresses in bold colors, mixed prints, embellishments, and tried whimsical combinations. Reports from around 2009 suggest that Suri had quite a vast wardrobe. Some estimates in the media claimed millions in value, though these likely grew via sensationalism, and that Katie Holmes allowed Suri to have some influence over her clothing selection. The defining traits were extremely feminine, conspicuous, and playful, matching the idea of a famous toddler fashionista. In 2011, around this period, Suri was seen wearing hats and experimenting more with how items were combined. In 2018, Suri began blending more trendy, youthful elements with her signature femininity, like combining coats, dresses, and subtle layering. Media in December observed her as a style leader among peers, while she matched with friends in pink coats and dresses, commanding attention. In 2019, she turned 13, while her style still included playful and colorful elements, pastels, fun prints, but more tailored, age-appropriate cuts. In 2024, when Suri turned 18, her style was more trend-aware, while in May she wore double denim jacket plus jeans, paired with brown clogs, a trending footwear style. In her move to Carnegie Mellon University, fall 2024, she was seen in casual, comfortable style college wear, denim capris. During the summer break of 2025, Suri was spotted in New York wearing a black tank top with black sandals, which looked like a bold, confident look. In July 2025, she visited her mother on a film set wearing a cropped white tank and red sneakers, demonstrating confidence in mixing utilitarian and trendy styles. Madonna's daughter Lourdes is owning the runway. In 1996, Lourdes Leon was born to Madonna and fitness trainer Carlos Leon in Los Angeles. She grew up surrounded by fashion and celebrity culture due to Madonna's iconic status. Lourdes created the Material Girl clothing line with Madonna in 2010, sold at Macy's. She was actively involved in style decisions, with early exposure to branding and creative direction. Lourdes' first major modeling appearance was in Stella McCartney's Pop fragrance campaign, alongside Grimes and Kenya Kinsky-Jones. Lourdes promoted body positivity and sustainability, which set the tone for her values-led fashion career. In 2018, Lourdes had an official runway at Gypsy Sport debut at New York Fashion Week. She personally reached out to the designer to be part of the show, showing initiative and not relying solely on nepotism, while the media praised her for her confidence, charisma, and fearless styling. In 2020, Lourdes appeared in campaigns for Miu Miu, Mugler, and Converse X Made Me. In 2023, Lourdes Leon delivered one of the most viral runway moments at the Louis de Javier show at NYFW. This reinforced her reputation as a fearless, body-confident, and edgy model. In 2025, she attended the Roberto Cavalli show while wearing a black halter gown with minimal jewelry and slicked hair. Though she was not on the runway, Her presence as a front-row star drew attention, while coverage highlighted her elegant evolution, showing she could balance shock with sophistication. David Beckham's son, Brooklyn, is living the dream life. In 2021, Brooklyn Beckham and Nicola Peltz purchased a $10.5 million mansion in Beverly Hills. The home featured 5 bedrooms, a yoga studio, juice bar, and an outdoor infinity pool. Brooklyn married actress and billionaire heiress Peltz in Palm Beach. The star-studded event was hosted at the Peltz family estate, with guests symbolizing status, love, and fulfillment. In 2023, with the launch of Brooklyn's gourmet hot sauce brand, he developed the concept during the pandemic and was involved in branding, flavor design, and marketing. The sauces launched in 2024 and sold out online. In May 2024, his sauces were featured in special dishes curated by Michelin star chef Michel Roux Jr. In March 2025, Brooklyn trained and drove the Jaguar TCS Racing as part of Formula E Evo sessions. He went through simulator tests, received coaching from Jaguar's pro drivers, and raced a full-size electric Formula E car in Miami. In June 2025, Brooklyn and Nicola bought a $13.4 million Hollywood Hills estate. The house has 5 bedrooms and 6 bathrooms, and it also includes a private cinema, gym, pool, and panoramic city views. In August 2025, Brooklyn and Nicola renewed their vows on their family estate, while Brooklyn called it a really cute memory and said he'd renew vows every day if he could. They shared images from the ceremony online. In mid-late 2025, Brooklyn focuses on expanding his brand, living peacefully in LA, and spending time with his wife and dogs. Despite ongoing rumors of distance from his family, he has made clear that he is prioritizing his own path, happiness, and self-direction. Reese Witherspoon's daughter, Ava, looks exactly like her mom. Ava Elizabeth was born on September 9, 1999, to Reese Witherspoon and Ryan Philippe. From her early years, public appearances of Ava beside Reese drew gentle remarks of resemblance, with shared blonde hair and similar facial structure. By her mid-teens, media outlets began spotlighting how Ava and Reese looked. In 2015, Reese posted a photo of 15-year-old Ava before a movie premiere, and numerous outlets remarked that Ava could pass for Reese's twin. Around the same time, press stories cited their similar features, like heart-shaped faces, big eyes, and warm smiles. In red carpet events, Ava often mirrored aspects of Reese's earlier styles, for example using a choker that Reese wore years earlier. Such recalls reinforced comparisons. As social media grew, Reese and Ava posted many side-by-side photos, sometimes intentionally matching. Some ambient images produced optical illusions where fans commented that it was hard to tell who was who. Over the years, Reese and Ava have appeared at many events in color-coordinated or matching looks, which heightens visual resemblance. In 2024, at a Tiffany & Company event, they both wore dresses which media described as making them look like reflections of each other. They have also occasionally borrowed each other's clothing or shared wardrobes, especially in casual or stylish shoots. While in July, Ava experimented by switching her hair from her signature blonde to a light brunette. Many fans and media observers pointed out that, despite the change, the facial resemblance still held. In April 2025, Ava made her acting debut in Dr. Odyssey. Many media headlines framed this as yet another visual echo, emphasizing how Ava channels her mother's imagery. As of 2025, the resemblance narrative remains strong in media and among fans. Ava is often called Reese's mini-me in headlines. Despite that, both women maintain the resemblance, and Ava is forging her own identity through modeling, art, acting, and personal expression. Cindy Crawford's daughter, Kaya, is a supermodel in the making. Kaya Jordan Gerber was born on September 3, 2001, in Los Angeles, to supermodel Cindy Crawford and businessman Randy Gerber. She has an older brother, Presley Gerber, who is also a model. Her first modeling gig came quite young, at 10. She did a campaign for the Young Versace Junior line. In July 2015, Kaya signed with IMG Models, which was a major step, marking her formal entry into the professional modeling world. She started doing editorial work and became part of major campaigns like the Marc Jacobs Daisy fragrance. At 14, she appeared on Vogue covers, Vogue Paris, Vogue Netherlands, alongside her mom, Cindy, in 2016. Shortly after turning 16, she made her runway debut at New York Fashion Week, walking for Calvin Klein's 2018 show in a collection by Raf Simons. Right after NYFW, she walked in London Fashion Week in the Burberry show, again alongside her brother Presley. During 2018, she attracted covers of major fashion magazines and was involved in big campaigns like the Chanel Spring Handbags campaign, Valentino, etc. She also launched a design collaboration, Karl Lagerfeld x Kaya, at 16, a capsule collection. This move signaled ambition beyond modeling. In 2019, Kaya appeared in campaigns for brands like Jimmy Choo, Stella McCartney, and Fendi, and as a face for YSL Beauty. In 2020, she had her first appearance on the American Vogue cover, and she continued growing visibility in both fashion and media. Over time, she has developed her own style, often paying tribute to her mother's iconic fashion moments, but also carving out her distinct aesthetic. In 2024, her outfits on the runway or red carpet are now covered as much for her fashion risks and individuality as for her pedigree. As of now, Kaya is widely acknowledged by fashion insiders as having already achieved supermodel in the making status because of her consistent work. Heidi Klum's daughter, Leni, just made modeling history. Leni Olumi Klum was born on May 4, 2004, and is the biological daughter of Heidi Klum and Flavio Briatore, later adopted by Seal. She expressed interest in modeling from a young age. In December 2020, Leni made her official modeling debut by appearing on the cover of Vogue Germany's 2021 issue alongside her mother, Heidi Klum, which was photographed by Chris Coles. The cover featured a mother and daughter in matching colorful pantsuits, barefoot. In January 2021, Leni opened Berlin Fashion Week, presenting multiple German designers, Xavier Gauch, Michael Sontag, and Lala Berlin, in a digital format due to COVID restrictions. This was significant because opening a major fashion week is a prestigious role for any model, and doing it at such a young age adds to the weight. In April 2021, Leni secured her first solo magazine cover, Glamour Germany. Importantly, this was the 20th anniversary issue of Glamour Germany, 20 years after Heidi Klum was the magazine's first-ever cover model. Since then, Leni has starred in campaigns for brands like Dior, Beauty M, Fila, and others. She and Heidi together did lingerie campaigns, Intimissimi, starting in 2022. Leni has addressed being called a Nepo baby, someone who benefits from having famous parents, acknowledging her privileges, but also stating that she wants to do the hard work herself. Johnny Depp's daughter, Lily Rose, is taking over the fashion world. Lily Rose Melody Depp was born on May 27, 1999, to Johnny Depp and Vanessa Paradis. Chanel is arguably the brand most closely tied to Lily Rose. She became an ambassador at a younger age and appears more often in Chanel fashion with red carpet looks. She frequently references or wears archival pieces, vintage Chanel, archival runway looks, in her major fashion moments. This suggests she doesn't just chase trends and she connects with fashion history. She's been featured in multiple high-fashion magazines like Vogue, Elle, and Madame Figaro. From young editorial shoots and runway appearances to mature red carpet elegance, her looks often combine classic elegance, Chanel tweed, couture gowns, with more modern touches. She didn't just get famous kid gigs. She got serious fashion roles early, Chanel, Vogue, which gives her credibility in the industry. Lily, having Vanessa Paradis, who has her own deep connection with fashion, and Johnny Depp, gives her visibility and inherited cultural capital, but she also seems to be carving out her own identity. It's not just one or two fashion moments, it's regular appearances, major events, strong photography work, and custom couture that build a fashion resume. Her red carpet looks are often called out. Her ability to incorporate fashion history or archival pieces shows depth. Also, she is seen often in the front row or center at fashion shows. As her parents are famous and her mother has a long association with Chanel, some critics say Lily Rose benefits from her lineage. Lily Rose has addressed being called a Nepo baby in interviews, saying while it might open doors, but there's still effort required to sustain a career. Dwayne Johnson's daughter Simone is wrestling into the spotlight. Simone Alexandra Johnson was born on August 14, 2020, to Dwayne Johnson and Danny Garcia. At the age of 18, Simone signed with WWE and began training full-time at the WWE Performance Center in Orlando. WWE officially announced her signing, making headlines as she would become WWE's first-ever fourth-generation superstar. Simone underwent knee surgery shortly after starting the training. Despite setbacks, she continued her development journey under WWE's Next brand. In May 2022, WWE revealed Simone would wrestle under the ring name Ava Raine. She made headlines by choosing a name that did not directly link her to her famous family. Simone addressed this shortly by saying, "I don't think a name discredits any of my family's accomplishments. I wanted to carve my own path." On April 25, 2022, Simone made her first on-screen appearance as Ava Raine on WWE Next, aligning herself with the dark cult-like faction Schism led by Joe Gacy. On April 1, 2023, Ava Raine made her official in-ring debut at Next Stand and Deliver during WrestleMania weekend in Los Angeles. She participated in an 8-person tag team match representing Schism against Chase University. Although her team lost, it marked her first competitive match on the WWE platform. Simone has openly discussed the pressure of being The Rock's daughter in wrestling, like, "I'm aware of what comes with that. It's a big expectation, but I'm here to prove I deserve it for myself." She also addressed criticism over choosing the Ava Raine name instead of using Johnson, stating that she wanted to be seen as her own performer, not just an extension of her father. As of 2025, Ava Raine remains part of WWE's Next roster, continuing to develop her persona and in-ring skills. Kanye West's daughter, North, is already a star. At only 13 months old, North West made a striking fashion debut in CR Fashion Book's Fall 2014 Legends issue, which was photographed by Michael Avedon and styled by Karina Rotterfeld. This shoot was notable not only because of her age, but also due to Karl Lagerfeld's quote featured alongside, "It is never too early to care about fashion." This moment firmly placed North on the fashion world's radar as a toddler with star potential. At the age of 5, North starred in Fendi's Me and My Peekaboo campaign, celebrating the brand's iconic handbag's 10th anniversary. The campaign was a video filmed in Los Angeles featuring 3 generations of Kardashians. Set against a sunlit outdoor backdrop, the family walked together with North carrying a mini version of the Peekaboo bag. Kanye West's track Love Lockdown provided the soundtrack, adding to the campaign's cultural cachet. In 2024, North entered the music scene at around 10 by featuring on the track Talking Once Again, a collaboration between Kanye West and Ty Dolla $ign, from the album Vultures. Her verse was brief but impactful, showing confidence and style. The track debuted at number 30 on the Billboard Hot 100, making her one of the youngest artists to ever chart. The accompanying music video highlighted North's stylish and poised presence, signaling her emergence as a musical talent in her own right. In 2024, during a Vultures album listening party in Phoenix, North West publicly announced that she was working on her own debut album titled Elementary School Dropout. The album's title pays homage to Kanye's iconic 2004 debut, The College Dropout, underscoring her connection to her father's legacy while signaling her own creative ambitions. As of early 2025, North continues to develop her album with Kanye's support, who has publicly shared that he is creating beasts for her project. Beyond music, North is reportedly involved in the creative direction of her album, including visuals, styling, and songwriting. Kate Moss's daughter, Leila, is her mother's twin. Leila Grace Moss Hack, born in September 2002, is the daughter of supermodel Kate Moss and Jefferson Hack, co-founder of Dazed magazine. Leela has often been described by media and fashion insiders as looking strikingly like her mother, Kate Moss, especially during their early public appearances. Their similar facial features, expressions, and even poise have led many to call Leela her mother's mini-me or twin. Photographers and fans frequently remark on the near-identical cheekbones, eyes, and smile. Leela made her runway debut in 2018, opening for the Miu Miu Fall 2018 show in Paris, stepping into the spotlight much like her mother did decades earlier. But her debut was hailed as a moment of legacy continuation. Many noted that she walked with a confidence and coolness reminiscent of Kate Moss's early career. Since then, Leela has appeared in campaigns for major brands such as Marc Jacobs and Pat McGrath Labs, following closely in Kate's footsteps. Beyond physical looks, Leela has adopted a similar fashion sensibility like edgy, effortless, and chic, which often echoes Kate's iconic 90s style. In interviews, Leela has spoken about how her mother's style and work ethic inspire her own approach to modeling and life. She embraces her connection to Kate, but also strives to build her own identity in the fashion world. Media outlets, fans, and fashion commentators consistently highlight the uncanny resemblance between mother and daughter, sometimes featuring side-by-side comparisons. Leela's presence on red carpets, at fashion weeks, and magazine covers draws direct comparisons to Kate's iconic moments from the 90s and 2000s. Gwyneth Paltrow's daughter, Apple, is turning heads. Apple Blythe Allison Martin, born in August 2004 to Gwyneth Paltrow and Chris Martin. In January 2023, Apple made her public fashion debut at the Chanel Haute Couture Spring-Summer 2023 show in Paris. She sat front row alongside other high-profile Chanel ambassadors like Sadie Sink and Lucy Boynton. Apple wore a black and white tweed mini dress, a matching cardigan, loafers, and a quilted Chanel bag. Her hair was styled in a sleek, center-parted look with soft glam makeup. Her striking resemblance to Gwyneth Paltrow and polished presence led to widespread media coverage. Fashion journalist Derek Blasberg revealed on Twitter that Karl Lagerfeld had told Gwyneth in 2008 that Apple would one day be a Chanel girl. In late 2024, Apple made a formal society debut at the prestigious Le Bal des Débutants in Paris. She wore a custom Valentino gown made of flowing blue chiffon. The dress was reportedly crafted over 750 hours by Valentino's atelier under former creative director Pier Paolo Piccioli. One of the event's highlights was a father-daughter dance with Chris Martin, which went viral for its sweetness and elegance. This appearance further elevated Apple's image as a poised, fashion-forward young woman entering public life on her own terms. In October 2025, Apple starred in her first major solo fashion campaign for Self-Portrait, a London-based fashion house known for blending structure with elegance. A surreal, Eden-like shoot set in an orchard, complete with a real python. Apple was photographed by Ryan McGinley and styled by Mel Ottenberg, wearing sequined gowns, lace dresses, and dramatic evening looks. The campaign was widely praised for showcasing Apple's versatility, natural confidence, and beauty. Lisa Bonet and Lenny Kravitz's daughter, Zoe, is a style queen. Zoe Kravitz, daughter of musician Lenny Kravitz and actress Lisa Bonet, inherited a blend of rock and roll edge and bohemian spirit from an early age. Her parents' own style influences, her father's punk minimalism and mother's boho ethereal aesthetic, have always informed Zoe's early fashion sense. As a teenager, she experimented with layering, mixing vintage leather jackets and ethnic jewelry, and blending rugged pieces with softer, more feminine ones. Around 2010 to 15, Zoe's style shifted toward more minimalist silhouettes, simplified color palettes, and an effortless cool. She often wore black neutral tones, slip dresses, and leather pieces. In 2016, Zoe began making more daring fashion statements, attending major events in bold gowns and taking risks with texture cutouts, sheer fabrics, and metallics. At the 2020 SAG Awards, she wore a peach Oscar de la Renta gown with white opera gloves, a departure from her usual dark edginess, showing her versatility and elegance. In 2021, Zoe became brand ambassador for Saint Laurent. Her affiliation with the house reflected her ongoing love for sleek, rock-chic, high-fashion looks. Key red carpet looks during this period, including the bejeweled mesh Saint Laurent dress at the 2021 Met Gala and a striking Oscar de la Renta custom gown at the premiere of The Batman in 2022. In 2024, Zoe began mixing together more casual and more formal wear in surprising ways, like gym shorts with kitten heels, slouchy tees with quilted backs, and high-contrast street-style looks at a major fashion event. These combinations underscore her confidence and refusal to stick to one look. Nicole Kidman's daughters are rarely seen, but absolutely stunning. Nicole Kidman's daughters, Sunday Rose Kidman and Faith Margaret Kidman, were born to Nicole and Keith. They both have chosen to raise both daughters largely away from the spotlight, making their rare public appearances even more remarkable. In May 2020, during the COVID-19 lockdown, Nicole shared a rare photo of herself with Sunday and Faith sitting outdoors in their Nashville garden. The girls' faces were not fully visible, but fans noticed how grown up they looked. This was one of the first public glimpses of the girls in years. During the virtual 2021 Golden Globe Awards, Nicole appeared via Zoom from home with Keith and both daughters sitting beside her. Nicole was nominated for her role in The Undoing. Sunday and Faith wore matching white dresses and looked poised on camera. Viewers praised the girls' elegance and noted their similarity to Nicole's youthful features. In December 2024, Nicole and Keith were photographed arriving in Sydney, Australia. The girls, then aged 14 and 12, appeared taller and well-dressed in casual, stylish outfits. Fans and media noted Sunday's growing resemblance to Nicole, particularly her facial structure and posture. In April 2024, Sunday and Faith made their red carpet debut at the American Film Institute, AFI, Life Achievement Award Gala, honoring Nicole Kidman. This marked the first time the public saw them formally introduced into a Hollywood event. In July 2024, the family attended the Paris 2024 Summer Olympics, supporting Australian skateboarder Chloe Covell. Sunday and Faith were seen in the stands with their parents, cheering and waving. In October 2025, Nicole attended the Chanel Spring-Summer 2026 show at Paris Fashion Week with Sunday and Faith. Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck's daughter is growing into a Hollywood star. Violet Ann Affleck was born in December 2005 to Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck. Violet grew up largely shielded from the intense public spotlight. Her parents, mindful of their fame, prioritized protecting her privacy and maintaining a relatively normal childhood. In 2019, Violet reportedly developed a post-viral condition, similar to long COVID, which later informed her advocacy work. This personal health challenge became a motivating factor for her to speak on public health issues. In 2022, Violet began to appear more frequently in public settings and family events. Media and fans started noticing her striking resemblance to her mother, Jennifer Garner, sparking social media buzz. She began cultivating a distinct personal style and gained more public recognition as a celebrity child, growing into her own identity. In 2023, Jennifer Garner publicly discussed Violet's growing independence and expressed pride in her daughter's development. Violet's increasing public presence is noted by media outlets, though she remained focused on school and family. In 2024, Violet graduated high school with public ceremonies and proud parental support. She enrolls at Yale University in the fall, reflecting a commitment to higher education and intellectual growth. At Yale, Violet engaged in academic research focusing on public health, climate change, and the intersection of these issues. In 2025, Violet delivers a speech at the United Nations event, Healthy Indoor Air, a global call to action, advocating for clean air and better COVID-19 protections worldwide. Her advocacy on public health and environmental issues gains widespread media attention, framing her as an articulate and socially conscious young woman. Tom Hanks's son, Chet Hanks, is always in the headlines. Chet Hanks was born on August 4, 1990, to Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson. Chet started gaining public attention, mostly due to his famous parents, but keeps a relatively low profile. In the early 2010s, Chet starts gaining public attention mostly due to his famous parents, but keeps a relatively low profile. In 2015, Chet begins to pursue a career in entertainment, dabbling in acting and music, which starts to bring him some media attention. In 2016, he adopted the stage name Chet Hayes and released several rap singles and music videos online. Chet made appearances in a few film and TV projects, but with limited recognition. His public image is mixed, with some criticism of his rap style and media behavior. In 2019, Chet Hanks gained more headlines for his outspoken and often controversial social media presence. He faced public scrutiny for various incidents, including erratic behavior and candid discussions about his struggles with substance abuse. In 2020, during the COVID-19 pandemic, Chet shares his perspectives on social issues and health measures, sometimes sparking debate. He publicly announced his journey towards sobriety and seeks support, which brings more attention to his personal life. In 2021, Chet became known for his unique slang and white boy summer phrase, which went viral and got widespread media coverage. He uses social media platforms actively, drawing both fans and critics for his bold, sometimes controversial posts. In 2022, Chet continued to release music and appeared in a few small acting roles. Chet's lifestyle and personal challenges, including public battles with addiction and mental health, kept him in the spotlight. Now, Chet focuses more on acting with a more mature approach. He became more open about his journey towards growth in interviews, despite ups and downs. Andy Garcia and Dominic Cristina Garcia Laredo. Andy Garcia has always been a devoted father and a guiding force in his daughter's professional journey. Known for his impeccable acting skills and strong screen presence, Andy has not only supported his daughter, Dominic Garcia Laredo, but has also collaborated with her on several occasions. His involvement in her career has been both personal and professional, as he acted in, directed, and produced two of her significant films, City Island, 2009, and Lost City, 2005. Both projects reflect the deep connection between father and daughter, with Andy ensuring that Dominic's talent was given a platform to shine. His belief in nurturing family bonds through art has been a defining aspect of his career. Andy Garcia himself remains a celebrated name in Hollywood, renowned for his performances in classic films such as The Untouchables, 1987, and The Godfather Part 3, 1990. These roles cemented his reputation as one of the most versatile and respected actors of his generation. While his body of work continues to grow, Andy has never let fame overshadow his devotion to family. Dominic, inspired by her father's professionalism and passion, has carved her own path in the entertainment world. Her portfolio includes appearances in various film and television projects, with one of her more recent and noticeable roles being in the 2019 psychological thriller series, Mr. Robot. Though her on-screen appearances have been fewer compared to her father's extensive filmography, Dominic continues to show promise and depth as an actress. Meanwhile, Andy remains ever active, with his name attached to upcoming projects such as Big Gold Brick and Father of the Bride. Both father and daughter share not only a love for acting, but also a bond that exemplifies how talent, dedication, and family values can beautifully intertwine in Hollywood's demanding landscape. Michael Douglas and Cameron Douglas. It Runs in the Family is a fitting title for the 2003 film that brought together three generations of the Douglas family: Kirk Douglas, his son Michael Douglas, and grandson Cameron Douglas. The movie's title carried a double meaning. It referenced both the storyline about a family facing personal challenges and the real-life legacy of the Douglas acting dynasty. Audiences and critics alike appreciated the film's heartfelt intention to showcase the power and complexity of family bonds through genuine generational chemistry that couldn't be faked on screen. Even Diana Dill, Michael's mother and Kirk's former wife, appeared in the film, adding another layer of authenticity to the family-centered narrative. The Douglas family's deep roots in Hollywood are undeniable. Kirk Douglas, the legendary star of Spartacus and Paths of Glory, set a standard of excellence that his son Michael carried forward with acclaimed performances in films such as Wall Street and Fatal Attraction. With It Runs in the Family, Michael hoped to pass that legacy on to Cameron, his own son, who showed early potential as an actor. However, despite his family's success, Cameron's journey took a darker turn. He struggled with substance abuse from a young age, leading to multiple arrests for drug possession. His legal troubles eventually resulted in a lengthy prison sentence, totaling about 7 years behind bars. After his release, Cameron sought to turn his life around, channeling his past experiences into creativity and reflection. In 2019, he published a memoir titled Long Way Home, where he candidly recounted his battles with addiction and his efforts toward redemption. Now focused on rebuilding his career and reputation, Cameron has taken on a new project, The Runner, which symbolizes not just a comeback, but also the enduring Douglas resilience that indeed runs in the family. Mellody Hobson and Everest Hobson Lucas. When Mellody Hobson married legendary filmmaker and Star Wars creator George Lucas in 2013, she was already an accomplished business leader and philanthropist in her own right. At the time of their marriage, Mellody was nearing 44 years old, and later that same year, the couple welcomed their daughter Everest Hobson Lucas into the world via surrogacy. The birth of Everest marked a new and joyous chapter for both Mellody and George, symbolizing not only love, but also the blending of two remarkable legacies, one rooted in creativity and the other in business leadership. The couple's decision to have a child through surrogacy was met with warmth and admiration, as it reflected their deep commitment to family despite the challenges that can come with age and demanding careers. Mellody Hobson has long been recognized for her brilliance and poise in the corporate world. As the co-CEO and president of Ariel Investments and later named chairwoman of Starbucks in 2020, she has been a trailblazer for diversity and leadership in finance. Balancing these immense responsibilities while embracing motherhood is no small feat, yet Mellody has done so with grace. Her partnership with George Lucas has also been one of mutual respect and inspiration, both sharing a vision of empowering others through creativity, education, and social progress. During the COVID-19 pandemic, like many families, Mellody found herself with more time to spend at home, a rare opportunity for a woman accustomed to global meetings and high-level business commitments. This unexpected pause allowed her to enjoy precious moments with George and their daughter, strengthening family bonds. Today, Mellody continues to embody balance, a powerful executive, a loving wife, and a devoted mother, showing that success and family fulfillment can indeed coexist in harmony. Katie Holmes and Suri Cruise. Like many high-profile Hollywood marriages, the union between Katie Holmes and Tom Cruise drew immense public attention from the start and ended just as dramatically. Their marriage, which began in 2006, was once considered one of the most talked-about relationships in show business. Though their eventual divorce in 2012 marked the end of a glamorous chapter, it wasn't without a lasting gift, their daughter, Suri Cruise. Born in April 2006, Suri quickly became a media darling, often photographed for her impeccable sense of style and resemblance to both of her famous parents. While it's difficult to say exactly which parent she takes after most, many agree that she's inherited her mother's gentle beauty, charm, and radiant smile. Now in her teenage years, Suri is growing up largely outside the Hollywood spotlight. At just 15, she remains more focused on her studies than on pursuing any showbiz ambitions, a decision that reflects Katie Holmes's conscious effort to give her daughter as normal a childhood as possible. Katie has always been vocal about her devotion to motherhood, often emphasizing that Suri's happiness and well-being come before anything else. Their close mother-daughter bond is frequently evident, as the two are often seen together in New York City, enjoying simple activities like walking their dogs or grabbing coffee. Katie herself continues to balance her acting and directing career with motherhood. In recent years, she has taken on more independent film projects and creative ventures, demonstrating her growth as an artist and storyteller. Her breakup with chef Emilio Vitolo, Jr. in 2021 was reportedly a mutual decision, with Katie choosing to prioritize her daughter and personal goals. Through all of life's ups and downs, Holmes remains a picture of resilience, gracefully navigating fame, motherhood, and self-discovery, while ensuring that Suri always remains at the heart of her world. Richard Gere and Homer Gere. Richard Gere pretty much became America's symbol of romance and intimacy with the movie American Gigolo in 1980. The film not only solidified his image as a leading man, but also established him as an icon of charm and sophistication throughout the decade. Gere seemed to embrace this public perception as both of his former wives, supermodels Cindy Crawford and Carrie Lowell, were celebrated figures in the fashion world. His marriage to Carrie Lowell lasted from 2002 to 2016, and together they welcomed a son, Homer James Jikmek Gere, in 2000. Despite being born into a family of immense fame, Homer has led a relatively quiet and private life. While his father's career spanned decades of success in films such as Pretty Woman, An Officer and a Gentleman, and Chicago, Homer appears uninterested in following the Hollywood path. Instead, he's focused on academics and personal pursuits, steering clear of the limelight that so often surrounds the children of celebrities. Now in his 20s, Homer is known for his down-to-earth personality and resemblance to his father's striking good looks, the same charm and poise that made Richard Gere a household name. In 2018, Gere found love again with Spanish publicist and activist Alejandra Silva, marking a new chapter in his life. The couple married that same year and have since welcomed 2 children together. Through all of life's transformations, Gere has continued to embody grace and maturity, evolving from Hollywood's quintessential romantic hero to a devoted family man and humanitarian. Meanwhile, his son Homer represents the quieter side of celebrity lineage, choosing a life defined not by fame, but by personal integrity and privacy. John Travolta and Ella Blue Travolta. When your father is a handsome, famous figure like John Travolta, most people expect you to be gorgeous. Well, Ella Blue Travolta hasn't disappointed in that regard. Inheriting her father's striking eyes, chiseled jawline, and radiant smile, she exudes a natural charm that's both classic and contemporary. Her flawless complexion and graceful presence could easily make her the face of any high-end skincare brand or fashion campaign. However, beneath the glamour lies a young woman who has faced deep personal challenges. The loss of her mother, actress Kelly Preston, in 2020, profoundly affected her. Ella was very close to her mom, and her passing became a turning point in the young actress's life, teaching her strength and resilience in the face of heartbreak. Despite her grief, Ella has continued to pursue her creative passions. Following in her father's footsteps, she has begun carving out a place for herself in the film industry. Her acting debut came with Old Dogs in 2009, a family comedy starring both her parents, which gave her an early taste of Hollywood life. Years later, she appeared alongside her father again in the 2019 crime drama The Poison Rose, where her natural poise and emotional depth shone through. More recently, she starred in Get Lost, a modern reimagining of Alice in Wonderland, signaling her growing confidence as an actress ready to build her own identity beyond her family name. Ella's journey so far reflects both her inherited star quality and her individuality. While John Travolta remains immensely proud of her achievements, Ella is proving that she's more than just her father's daughter. She's a talented, compassionate young woman determined to honor her family's legacy while creating her own. Bruce Willis and Rumor Willis. Some kids have the uncanny ability to look like both their parents at the same time, and Rumor Willis is a perfect example of that rare balance. At first glance, it's easy to see the resemblance she shares with her father, Bruce Willis, the same expressive eyes, confident demeanor, and warm smile that made him a Hollywood favorite. Yet there's an unmistakable touch of her mother, Demi Moore, in her features. Her dark hair, elegant bone structure, and quiet intensity mirror Demi's timeless beauty, making Rumor a striking blend of 2 of Hollywood's most recognizable stars. Born in 1988, Rumor is the eldest of Bruce and Demi's 3 daughters and grew up in the spotlight. Her early exposure to film sets and red carpets naturally led her to follow her parents' footsteps into acting. She appeared alongside her father in Hostage, 2005, and later in The Whole Nine Yards, gaining valuable experience from working with one of the industry's most respected action stars. Over time, Rumor has worked hard to step out of her parents' shadows and establish her own identity as an actress and performer. Her breakout moment came when she joined Quentin Tarantino's star-studded film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, 2019, which became her most successful project to date. Beyond acting, Rumor has also showcased her versatility through singing and stage performances, even winning season 20 of Dancing with the Stars in 2015, a testament to her dedication and artistry. Today, Rumor Willis continues to carve her own path in the entertainment world while carrying the unmistakable legacy of her famous parents. She embodies the best of both Bruce and Demi, not just in looks, but in talent, charisma, and resilience. Sylvester Stallone and Sistine Stallone. Paired beside a younger Sylvester Stallone, Sistine Stallone could easily be mistaken for his sister rather than his daughter. The resemblance between the two is striking. She inherited his strong jawline, expressive eyes, and confident aura. Yet many also see her mother, Jennifer Flavin, in her graceful features and poised demeanor. It's as if Sistine combines the best of both parents, her father's intensity and her mother's elegance, creating a presence that's both commanding and refined. Born in 1998, Sistine is one of 3 daughters of Sylvester Stallone and Jennifer Flavin. Growing up in a household where fame was second nature, she developed an early fascination with both the fashion and film industries. Following in her mother's footsteps, Sistine began her career as a model, signing with IMG Models and quickly gaining attention from major fashion houses. She walked the runway for designers such as Chanel and graced the pages of Harper's Bazaar and Town & Country, establishing herself as a rising star in the modeling world. However, the acting bug eventually bit her, perhaps an inevitable turn given her cinematic lineage. Sistine made her acting debut in the 2019 survival horror film 47 Meters Down, Uncaged, where she displayed natural screen presence and courage in a physically demanding role. The experience appears to have deepened her interest in acting, leading her to upcoming appearance in Midnight in the Switchgrass, a crime thriller starring Bruce Willis and Megan Fox. With her combination of beauty, talent, and ambition, Sistine Stallone is carving out a path uniquely her own while proudly carrying her family's legacy. Whether she's on the runway or in front of the camera, she radiates the confidence and charisma that make her a true star in the making. Uma Thurman and Maya Hawke. If you've watched Stranger Things, then you've probably noticed Maya Hawke and wondered why her face looks so familiar. For those old enough to remember her parents' iconic careers, the resemblance is undeniable. Maya is the daughter of actors Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke, and she carries traits from both of them with uncanny precision. From her mother's delicate features, her eyes, lips, and unmistakable smile, to her father's soulful expression and artistic charm, Maya seems to be a perfect blend of 2 of Hollywood's most admired talents. Born in 1998, Maya grew up surrounded by the arts, with parents who earned critical acclaim for films like Pulp Fiction and Training Day. It was almost inevitable that she would inherit a passion for storytelling. However, rather than relying solely on her family name, Maya has worked hard to earn her own place in the entertainment world. Her breakout role as Robin Buckley in Netflix's Stranger Things introduced audiences to her sharp wit and magnetic screen presence. She quickly became a fan favorite, praised for her natural charisma and nuanced performances. Maya's career continues to flourish as she explores different genres and challenges herself with new roles. In addition to her work on Stranger Things, she starred in Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and has ventured into music, releasing her own folk-inspired songs that highlight her poetic and introspective nature. She's also set to appear in the slasher film Fear Street, proving that she's not afraid to experiment with edgier material. While she still has a long road ahead before matching the legacies of her parents, Maya Hawke is well on her way. With her talent, intelligence, and authenticity, she's already establishing herself as one of the most promising young stars of her generation. Jim Carrey and Jane Carrey. Jim Carrey is a well-known comedy genius whose boundless energy and exaggerated expressions have made him one of the most unforgettable entertainers in Hollywood. From Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, to The Mask and Liar Liar, Carrey's elastic face and trademark grin became central to his comedic magic. Among his many expressive traits, his wide smile, complete with those unmistakable teeth, has always stood out. so it's quite a delightful surprise to find that his daughter, Jane Carey, inherited that very same smile. The resemblance between father and daughter is striking, especially when they're photographed together, flashing identical grins that instantly warm hearts. Born in 1987 to Jim and his then-wife Melissa Womer, Jane grew up with a first-hand view of the entertainment world. However, rather than pursuing comedy, she charted her own artistic path. Jane's talents lean more toward music. She's a singer-songwriter with a soulful voice and a flair for heartfelt lyrics. She gained public attention when she auditioned for American Idol in 2012, impressing the judges and showing a quieter, more introspective side compared to her father's over-the-top comedic persona. Still, the connection between the two remains undeniable, both in looks and spirit. Jane has joined her father on camera before, most notably appearing in his acclaimed Showtime series, Kidding. The father-daughter duo's chemistry was a touching reminder that talent and charisma clearly run in the family. While Jane continues to pursue her creative passions outside the bright glare of fame, she remains a proud reflection of her father's legacy. Her kind smile and gentle humor mirror Jim's in the most endearing way, proof that sometimes the best parts of a legendary comedian live on, not just in his work, but in his children, too. Mel Gibson and Milo Gibson. Like father, like son. That phrase certainly comes to mind when looking at Mel Gibson and his son Milo Gibson. The resemblance between them is undeniable, from their piercing blue eyes to their strong jawlines and confident expressions. They share not only physical similarities, but also an unmistakable on-screen charisma that seems to run in the family. Yet despite his famous lineage, Milo didn't jump straight into Hollywood. Before stepping in front of the camera, he spent years working as an electrician, living a relatively low-profile life far from the glitz of show business. It wasn't until his early 30s that Milo decided to follow in his father's footsteps and pursue acting. His debut came in 2016 with Hacksaw Ridge, a critically acclaimed World War II drama directed by Mel Gibson himself. The film's success introduced Milo to audiences and showcased his natural screen presence and quiet intensity. Since then, he has steadily built a career marked by versatility and dedication, appearing in action-packed and character-driven films alike. Some of his most notable projects include Gangsterland, 2017, in which he portrayed Al Capone, and All the Devil's Men, 2018, a gritty action thriller that highlighted his commanding presence. In 2021, Milo starred in Under the Stadium Lights, a sports drama based on a true story, further cementing his place as a promising actor with both charm and depth. While comparisons to his father are inevitable, Milo has expressed admiration for Mel's achievements while emphasizing his desire to carve out his own path. His grounded nature and steady rise in the industry suggests that he's not relying on his family name, but instead letting his work speak for itself. With talent, humility, and that signature Gibson intensity, Milo is well on his way to building a lasting legacy of his own.
If you've watched the video till here, that means you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notifications bell icon